Hi Forester Dragons, welcome back. We're going to get started on our new project for this week. We're going to be learning about shading and value. We're going to review our lines and we're going to learn about the color wheel. So I can go ahead and I'll save the color part for when we do the color, but I'm going to go ahead and show you up here. So we've got our value. Value is when you take one color and it's the different shades of that color. You've got the different shades, the tints. So we're going to draw an apple and you're going to show me the values of it, the different shades. We're going to do it simplified, very simplified. We're also going to review our lines because you're going to have these coming off of your apple. So your broken, your zigzag, your horizontal, your vertical. Okay, we're going to be really creative and we'll get into the color wheel next time. Okay, so let's go ahead and sit down and get started. Okay, so you're going to need some paper. Okay, here's my paper. Now, I want this apple to be bigger than your hand. So don't draw me a tiny apple in the middle of your paper. You can even lay your hand down so you kind of have a guide and just draw a line at the top and bottom. So if I draw a line at the top and bottom, you can see how big my apple has to be. Okay, it's not little. So when you're making the apple, and I'm not really picky, if it looks more like an orange, that works for me too. So you're going to, what I do is I start in the middle and I make kind of, you can make a little mountain. Do you see the little, I'll show you, see the little mountain there? And then right above it, directly at the top, I'm going to make a V. So I've got a V at the top and a mountain at the bottom. Then where that mountain is, I'm going to curve out and up to the V. Okay. Same thing on this side. Curve out and up to the V. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine kind of looks more like a strawberry on this one. I might make him a little wider. So have fun with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it the way you want it. Okay, but once you get your apple the way you want it, at the top, I want you to put a rectangle, creating the stem, and then a pointed oval for a leaf. You can even draw a line in the middle. Okay, now you're going to divide this apple into 3 sections. So we're going to have 1 section, 2, 3. Can you see how I kind of did that at the bottom here? 3 sections. 1 section is going to be your darkest section, okay, your darkest value. Then in the middle will be medium, and then over on the other side will be your lightest value. Make sure your pencil is nice and sharp, and you're going to do this in a curving motion because we're trying to give it more of a 3-dimensional form look instead of a flat 2D look. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start curving. I'm just going up and down. And there are different forms of shading. There's hatching and cross hatching, but today we're just doing a simple back and forth shading. Okay. And we're going to go all the way up, but when we get to a curved section, we're going to curve it. It'll take some time. And I'm turning the paper when I need to. Now remember, your edge, along here should be your darkest. This whole section will be the darkest section. You want to make sure that your edge is the darkest. So in other words, if the light was shining over here, the shadow would be over here on the opposite. Think about your arm. If you hold your arm up, is the top of it darker or the bottom? So where the light is going to be the lightest, and the bottom is where your shadow is. Okay, so I've got my darkest section. Now I need to start my medium section. So I'm going to get a little lighter. That just means I'm not pressing as hard with my pencil. I'm lifting my pencil up a little bit, and I'm not pressing as hard. And I'm filling in this middle section. Remember, curve where it's curved. So if it's the top of the apple, I'm going to turn it so I can curve. And then I'm going to curve this way on this side. Because remember, two directions form. Okay, so you can see I've kind of gotten my medium section, right? My darkest, my medium. Now I've got my lightest section, so I'm going to press even lighter over here. You almost barely touch it. You're just getting a little bit of color, but you still want to curve, okay? Once you get your darkest, your medium, and your light on, you want to go back and smooth the transitions. So that means kind of go over them till it's not dark, medium, light. Kind of smooth it out. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay, so where it goes from medium to light here, I'm kind of blending so that it's even right here. I'm going to kind of make sure the transition is smooth, just kind of blending it. And then I have my apple, okay? Dark, medium, light. I still could go back in here and transition this area a little bit better. That means blending it together. Okay, once I've got that done, I'm going to come up here. Where the stem is, it's going to be a little darker. So the bottom of the stem, I'm going to color darker and then kind of lighter up at the top. Same with the leaf. Darker where it's touching the apple and where the middle is, and then lighter around it. Transition, dark, medium, light. Okay, so it should look like this, right? Okay, so the next step for this week, all I want you to do next is I want you to take two other papers. I want you to go ahead and along the horizontal edge, the long edge of one of those papers, put a bunch of glue. Then connect the two papers like this, just a little bit, maybe about an inch, inch and a half, okay? Make sure it's glued all the way down. Then you're going to glue your apple in the middle. Make sure you get everywhere, okay? And then glue it in the middle. Like so. Okay? Now, off of this point, we're going to make some shapes coming off the sides. So, you're going to take a line, any kind you want. I'm going to go, I think I wanted you to at least have 6. So I'm going to take a line, just a diagonal line, and then off of that line, I'm going to draw a shape in the corner. Do you see? The shape is created by just making 2 lines connect to the sides of the paper, like it's coming off. One of your shapes must be a full circle. So I'm going to do a curved line here, and I'm going to draw a full circle. This will be our color wheel. I don't care where you put it, but you do need a full circle. And inside that circle, we'll divide it up to make our color wheel. I made a dot in the middle. Now, each line you connect to the shape, you must repeat at least 3 times. So I've got 3 diagonal, 3 curved. Okay, now I'm going to draw a shape over here. And let's see, I did 1, 2. I'm going to do a shape here. A shape here. And a shape here. Okay, and then I'm going to connect them with different lines. Remember, my lines have to repeat 3 times. Okay, so you can kind of see I've got my lines, my different shapes that touch the side. I have my 1 full circle because this will be my color wheel. So we're going to stop here for this week, and next week you're going to tune in and we're going to start to fill in those shapes. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.